Hello students, in our last lecture we have done till example number 3.6, that is a cubical network. Now today we are going to start with example number 3.7. Once again we have to apply the Kirchhoff rules to solve this type of network. Now students, you can see that in this network there are two batteries. One is of 10 volt, other is of 5 volt, and so we will start with the battery with higher voltage. So current emerges from this battery. Let this current is I1. Already the distribution of current in the figure is given, but still once we will see it. So this I1 now will move at point A. Now on this side let the current I2 is moving. So in this side how much current is remained, because we know that according to Kirchhoff first rule, whatever the current is coming towards the point should be equal to the current moving away from that point. So already I2 is there in upper branch, so the remaining current will be in this lower branch. So from this I1, I2 is removed. So remaining is I1 minus I2 that will move in this branch. Now this current moves ahead at point B. Here there is a positive of battery in this side. So let the current I3 is moving towards point B from this positive of the battery. From this side current I2 is coming towards B. From this side I3 is coming towards B. Both will meet at point B, and the total current here will be I2 plus I3. So again what we applied at this junction point B, Kirchhoff's first rule. Now here this current is moving at point B. Which current? I1 minus I2. But this current I2 plus I3, when it reached at point C, here what is that current? Students, remember that if the current is I1 on this path, then from here to here, from A to C, the same current should be there. The current cannot be different along this single path. So here the current is I1 only moving towards the negative of the battery. So from this current I2 plus I3 at point C, I1 current is removed. From this I2 plus I3, I1 current moves in this direction, so remaining current will be towards the point D. So I2 plus I3 and minus I1, because I1 moved towards this side. Now this current moves towards point D. This current also moves towards points D. Both are meeting at point D. So you can add this as well as this, and you will find that it is I3 only. And so we can say that I3 is coming out of the battery and I3 is moving in the battery. So this type of distribution is done in a network. Already the distribution is given to you. So here we have to simply apply the Kirchhoff's rules. So now students, I would advise you to sit with a notebook, a pen and a calculator, because while solving the equations obtained by Kirchhoff rules, you have to reach to the result by on your own. I will not show you all the mathematical steps, because most of the steps are very simple that you can easily get it by doing the paperwork. So during the calculation you can pause the video, you can do the calculation, and then you can move ahead. Now students, here Kirchhoff first rule can be applied at the junction, but here what we did, that current I1 is moving here and I2 is removed from it. I2 is removed from current I1, so remaining current is here. So we have already applied the junction rule. Even the same thing we did here. Current I2 is moving at point B as well as current I3 is moving at point B. So both the currents get added and the resultant current is towards point C. So here also what we did, applied Kirchhoff first rule. Now we have to apply Kirchhoff's second rule to different loops so that we can get the equations. Now applying Kirchhoff's second rule to loop ACDA. Students, look at the figure. A, C, D, A. So this triangle. So we can apply the Kirchhoff law here starting from point A, and you can move in this direction or you can move in this direction, that is clockwise or anti-clockwise. Also, it is not restriction for you to start with point A only. You can start from any point out of the three given points. So if I'll start with point A and if I'll move clockwise, then positive of the battery is there. You can see this is 10-volt battery. So which terminal is there? Positive. So I'll write plus 10. And what I'll do? One side battery and the other side IR terms. That is, this side will write the terms related to the battery, and on the left side we will write the terms related to IR. So first, which terminal came of the battery? Positive. So we have written positive 10. Now moving further, this resistance is in the path and current is I1. So I into R, but current is coming opposite to the motion. We are moving in this direction and current is in the opposite direction. So positive sign. So I into R positive. So I have written here same thing. You can see I into R, resistance is 1 ohm. Then next, after this we reached point C and now we are moving towards D. So this resistance came 2 ohm. And which current is here? Here the current is this one. So I into R, but in the direction of current. Current is also moving in the same direction. So there will be negative sign. So 2 into this, but negative. So you can see the same thing here. Minus sign, 2 is the resistance and this current is there in that branch. Now from point D, we reached from C to D. Now we are moving in this direction and current is in the opposite direction. So definitely there will be positive sign. Which current is there in this branch? It is I1 minus I2 and resistance is 4. So 4 into I1 minus I2. So 4 into I1 minus I2. And we have earlier written this 10 for the battery. So we have applied this Kirchhoff's second rule to this loop. After opening the brackets and simplifying the equation, you will get this equation, which is equation number 1. So students, here from this step to this step, you have to do one more step, one more mathematical step on your own. So you can pause the video, do paperwork, and check whether you are getting this or not. Now suppose you obtain this equation. So one equation is there in terms of I1, I2 and I3. There are 3 variables, we can say. Now applying the Kirchhoff's second rule to loop ACBA. Loop ACBA. You can see in the figure A, C, B, A. So same process you have to apply. Once again we will start with point A. Now I will move anti-clockwise. Like this I am going to move. So when I move from point A, battery is there and its positive terminal is coming in the path. So on the right hand side I'll write plus 10 for the battery. You can see here I have written on the right hand side plus 10 because positive terminal is coming. And now on the left of the equal to sign, there will be terms related to I into R. So now after battery, which resistance is there? 1 ohm, and the current is I1. So I into R. But current is in the opposite direction. You can see current is in this direction. We are moving in this direction. So plus sign will be there. So here we have written same thing. I1 into resistance is 1. Again we reached to point C. Now we are moving in the upward direction. So in this branch, resistance is 2 ohm and current is I2 plus I3. And look students, the direction of the current. The direction of the current is towards the downward direction and we are moving in the upward. So once again opposite. So again plus sign will be there. And so I2 plus I3 into 2 but positive. So same thing I have written here. I2 plus I3 into 2 and plus sign. Now moving ahead, we reached to point B. Now in this direction towards A, which resistance is there? 4 ohm and current is I2. We are moving in this direction and current is in this direction. So once again opposite. So 4 into I2 positive. So 4 into I2 positive. And finally we reached at the starting point. So we have completed Kirchhoff's second rule to this loop also. Now once again we can easily simplify this equation to get this. So students, do paperwork, obtain this equation, give it number 2. Now 2 equations are obtained, but still we cannot solve this 2 equation to get the results. So again we took one more equation, equation number 3. So this can be obtained by applying Kirchhoff law to this loop DCB ED. DCB it is here. DCB ED. So let us apply Kirchhoff's second rule to this also. Students, we can start from anywhere. So suppose if we'll start from point D. if I'll move in the upward direction, then you can see current is in the opposite direction. And which current? This. So 2 into I2 plus I3 minus I1. Then moving in the upward direction towards B. Again current is in the opposite direction. And so I2 plus I3 into 2, positive once again. Then from point B, we will move towards battery. So nothing is in between, no resistance is there in between, directly positive of this battery or a cell. So we'll put a positive sign towards right hand side, because this is the term related to a cell or a battery, that is 5. So plus 5 will be there, and then we will reach to point D, which is the starting point. And so this equation, you can see 2 into this, again 2 into this, and plus 5. Solving this equation, you will get the third equation. So students, I hope you got these three equations. Do proper calculation and obtain these three equations. Now simply we have to solve these equations. Adding equation 1 and 2. Look at these two equations. Equation 1 and 2. You can see here this is 2i3 and here it is 2i3, but this is positive and this is negative. So if we'll simply add these two equations, then these terms will cancel, and 10 plus 10 will be 20. Here this 7 and 1, 7i1 and 1i1, so 8i1 minus 6i2 and plus 6i2 cancel. So 8i1 is equal to 20. So adding that two equations, you will get 8i1 is equal to 20. And so I1 is equal to, bring this towards right hand side, so 20 divided by 8, you will get I1 is equal to 2.5 ampere. Let us give this value as number 1. Now using this value of I1, that is this, in equation 2 and 3. So first you have to use this value of I1 in equation number 2. So when you will use this I1 here, the only variables will remain I2 and I3. The equation will have only now two variables when you will put this value of I1. Similarly, when you will put value of I1, which is already obtained, in this equation, again you will get the equation related to the variables I2 and I3. So we will get two equations, this and this. Both these equations are having two variables only, that is I2 and I3 here also, I2 and I3 here also. So do paperwork and obtain these two equations by putting value of I1 in equation number 2 and 3. Now you can see here I3 is positive and here the I3 is negative. So simply you can add this equation number 4 and equation number 5. So this term will get removed, and 3i2 minus i2 remain will be 2i2, and on the right hand side 3.75 minus 2.5 will get 1.25. Then separate i2, 2 will be towards right hand side, and you will get I2 is equal to 0.625 ampere. Now use this value of I2 in either this equation or this equation. You will get value of I3. So simple mathematics is there now. You have to do on your own. I hope you will be able to do this, and after obtaining all these currents, you can easily get the currents in each branch, that is branch AB, BC, AD, CD, AC and BEB. Now that will not be difficult because all the values, that is I1, I2 and I3 is obtained to you. So you can simplify this I1 minus I2, so you can get current in branch AD because I1 is also known and I2 is also known. Similarly, you can get the current in branch BC. It is I2 plus I3 and both values I2 and I3 is known to us. And similarly for branch CD, for this path, that is I3 is already obtained by solving the equations. Also in this branch, that is I1, that is already obtained. So this is about example number 3.7. Now a most important topic, 3.14, Weston's bridge. This theory is frequently asked in the board exams. If the theory is not asked, then an example or a problem related to this theory is also asked. Now here you can see the construction of a Weston's bridge. Here there are four resistance, R1, R2, R3 and R4, and a battery is connected across the 2 points A and C, which is diagonally opposite points. You can see this is a diagonal and these are the diagonally opposite points. Along this diagonal, that is from point B to C, in between there is a galvanometer connected. Now what is this galvanometer? A galvanometer can detect a very small current. That means if the current is moving from B to D or from D to B, then this galvanometer can detect it. If a very small current is also present in this branch, then also it can detect. So a galvanometer is connected to detect the current flowing through it, that is Ig current is there, suppose. Now students, here the current from the battery is taken I, that is total current emerging from the battery. From point A, it gets divided into two branches. One is current I1 and the other is current I2. Now from this point B and from here lower point D. Now if the potential of point B is larger than the potential of point D, then the current will move from higher potential to lower potential. But if the potential of D is larger than B, then the current will move in the upward direction, that is from D towards B, that is from this higher potential towards lower. So here we have considered that the potential of point B is higher than point D, and so the current will move in the downward direction. Already current I is there here. It gets divided into current Ig and I3. So if we'll apply the Kirchhoff's first rule at a junction, then we can write I1 is equal to I3 plus Ig. Now here this current is I2 At point D, I2 and Ig, they used to meet here, and then after meeting it forms current I4. So again, if we'll apply the Kirchhoff's first rule at this point D, then I4 will be equal to Ig plus I2, because these two currents get mixed up at point D and becomes I4. So this type of distribution of current is shown here. Now students, about the balanced condition of this Weston's bridge. If the resistors, this R1, R2 and R3 and R4, if they are selected in such a way that the current from the galvanometer becomes 0. We know that at present, suppose current Ig is moving in this branch BD, but by changing the resistances, we can get such condition in which now the current in branch BD becomes 0. So if such things happen or such situation is obtained, then we can say that this bridge, that is Weston's bridge, is in a balanced condition. Remember, balanced condition if the current is 0 in this branch along the diagonal. So considering the balanced condition of the bridge, we can say that the current Ig is 0. Now students, if the current Ig is 0, then what will happen? Look at the figure. This current is moving, I1 is moving towards B. But here if there is no current moving along this direction, then I1 will move towards this side. If here there is no current in this branch, then the same current will be here, because this branch is not connected. If the current is not flowing, means we can ignore this branch BD, and if this branch is not there, then the same path is there. You can see from A, B, C, it is the same path. So this current I1 and I2 will be equal. Similarly, if the current is not there here, then we can ignore this branch BD. So this current I2 will be equal to I4. Same current flows through ADC. So I2 will be equal to I4. So in a balanced condition, I have written here, if the current in that branch, that is Ig, is 0, then I1 equal to I3 and I2 equal to I4. Now let us start to apply Kirchhoff's second rule to the loop. We will apply Kirchhoff's second rule to this loop A, B, D, A. First for this loop, and then we will apply Kirchhoff's second rule to B, C, D, B. And so we will get two equations for each loop. So applying Kirchhoff's second rule to loop A, B, D, A, B, D, A. Let us see in the figure A, B, D, A loop. Starting from A, we are moving towards B. So current direction is also this, and we are also moving in the same direction, so negative sign. So I1 into R1 minus I1 into R1 will be negative. Then we are moving from B towards D, but there is no current in this branch, so 0. No current in this branch, so 0. And then from D to A, we are moving in this direction and the current is in opposite direction, and so R2 into I2 will be plus. So students, you can see the same thing here, 0, because no current was flowing to that branch, and positive I2 R2. And again, what where we are reaching, starting from A to we are reaching A, so equal to 0. No battery is there in between for this loop, so equal to 0 is there. Simplifying this, that is bringing this negative term this side towards right side, it will become positive, and then obtaining the equation in terms of ratio. This can be done easily. So apply this mathematics for this equation and obtain this ratio. Give this equation number 1. We got I1 upon I2 is equal to R2 upon R1. Now applying Kirchhoff's second rule to CB DC. CB DC. Now I will not show you that how we have applied. Directly I will show you the equation only. Now you can apply it. So applying the Kirchhoff's second rule to this loop, we will get this equation and we will get this ratio. But you can see I3 is there and I4 is there. But I3 is equal to I1 and I4 is equal to I2. So in place of I3 upon I4, we can write I1 upon I2. And so we get the ratio I1 upon I2 is equal to R4 upon R3. This is equation number 2. And here we had equation number 1. This is 2. Here also I1 upon I2. Here also I1 upon I2. So comparing these two equations, we will get R2 upon R1 is equal to R4 upon R3. So comparing 1 and 2, we got this ratio. So students, if this ratio is satisfied, then we can say that Ig, that is current in that middle branch, will be 0 and the bridge is in balanced condition. So if this ratio is satisfied, we can say that Ig is 0, or vice versa. If Ig is 0, then this ratio will be there. Students, this ratio can be understood like this also in simple way. If in a Weston's bridge, if the current is not flowing here, then you can take the ratio R1 upon R2 is equal to R3 upon R4. Or in another way, you can write like this also. R1 upon R3 is equal to R2 upon R4. Same thing. So this is about the Weston's bridge. Now in this ratio, there are 4 resistors. If out of 4 resistors, if the value of 3 resistors are given, then we can easily find the value of the 4th unknown resistor. So practically this Weston's bridge circuit is used to find the unknown resistance given to you. Now next is about example number 3.8. Once again you can see there is a Weston's bridge circuit, but here the current is flowing to this branch, and so we can say that this bridge is not in a balanced condition. Here the distribution of the current is given to you, but if the distribution is not given to you, in that case also you can easily distribute the currents. From positive of the battery, you can take the current I from point A. As it is a junction point, this current I will divide into two currents, I1 and I2. Once again you can move to point B. Again the current will divide from point B. If Ig current is moving towards the galvanometer, then how much current is remained? I minus Ig is remained, that will move towards this side. From this I1, Ig is removed at the junction. So remaining current will be I1 minus Ig moving towards point C. Now Ig is moving towards the downward direction and I2 is moving towards this side. So both this current, that is Ig and I2, will meet at point D, and after meeting they will move towards C. So you can see here in this branch, DC branch, the current is I2 plus Ig, and once again at point C, this current I1 minus Ig and this current I2 plus Ig, they meet, and once again the current I will be obtained. You can easily check by adding this and this, you will get I. Students, when you will add this to, what you will obtain? Here you will obtain I1 plus I2. But what is I1 plus I2? You can see at this junction, I is nothing but it is I1 plus I2. So we can say that I1 plus I2 is nothing but it is I only. So I hope you understood the division of the current. Here already that division is given to us, so it is easy for us now. Value of these resistors are given. I have taken the symbols R1, R2, R3, R4 for these resistors. This is not given in the figure of your textbook. I have written the values here. Students, here this galvanometer is an instrument to detect the current. Even it has some small resistance. So resistance of galvanometer is symbolically taken as capital G, and its value is also given. Now we will apply the Kirchhoff's rules to obtain equations, and then we will solve that equations to obtain the current Ig, because finally here we want to find the Ig. Battery of 10 volt is connected across points A and point C. Now students, in your textbook 3 loops are considered. One is ABDA, then second is BCDB, and the third is ABC, E and A. So these 3 loops are used in your textbook and 3 equations are obtained, and after solving that 3 equations, the value of current Ig is obtained. There are many methods to solve this circuit. I have taken here loop ABCEA, then second loop ADCEA, and then third loop BCDB, and solving these 3 equations I have obtained value of Ig. So students, let us first apply the Kirchhoff rule to ABCEA, that is this upper loop, this loop consisting of battery also. Now students, you can see that here if we move in a clockwise direction, then current is in the same direction along the whole path. You can see current also is in the same direction. So here the terms related to I1, R1 will be negative. Even this I minus Ig into I3 will be negative. Even terminal of the battery is also coming negative first. So we used to take negative. So all the terms are negative if we move clockwise. But if we move anti-clockwise, then all this term will be positive. So we will move here anti-clockwise. So in anti-clockwise, we will get I1 R1 positive. Then I1 minus G into R3 again positive, and also positive of the battery. So first equation, you can see I1 R1, I1 minus G into R3 and the positive of the cell or a battery. Now using the value of R1, R3 and E, you will get this equation. Students, you can see here the variable are I1 and Ig are the two variables only, and solving this and making subject I1, I'll get this type of terms related to I1, that is I1 is equal to 1 plus Ig upon 11. So equation of I1 is obtained in terms of Ig. Similarly, applying Kirchhoff's second law to ADCEA, that is this loop ADCE and once again A. So for this loop, again if we will apply the Kirchhoff law, then we will get I2 into R2 positive, R4 into this term, that is I2 plus Ig positive, because we are once again moving in the anti-clockwise direction, so that all the terms will be positive. And moving to battery, as the positive terminal is coming, we will write once again plus E. So applying Kirchhoff's rule to this loop, we got this equation, and simplifying to get I2, we will get this result I2 in terms of G. First we obtained I1 in terms of G. Now here we obtained I2 in terms of G. Let us give this equation number 2. Now finally, we will apply the Kirchhoff's rule to this loop. You can also apply for this loop, but here I found that this loop is quite simple. Why it is quite simple? Because in this loop, the values of the resistor R3 and R4, you can see they are less, 10 and 5 ohm. If I have taken this loop, then the value of resistor R1 and R2, they are little large, and so I have taken this loop. Now applying Kirchhoff rule to this loop, if we move in a clockwise direction, then moving from D towards C, R3 into I1 minus Ig, same direction, so negative. From point C towards D, I2 plus Ig into R4, but here the direction is opposite. We are moving in this direction from C to D, and current is in opposite direction, so plus sign. Then from D towards B, you can see that the current is in the opposite direction and we are moving in the upward direction. So resistance of the galvanometer is G, so G into Ig positive. Same thing I have written here. So after applying the Kirchhoff loop rule for this, we get this equation. Opening these brackets, simplifying, we get this equation. I have given this equation number 3. Now students, remember, you can see that this equation is in terms of I1, I2 and Ig. But if I'll put the value of I1 and I2 from equation number 1 and 2, then this whole equation will be in terms of only Ig, and that Ig can be obtained. So using equation 1 and 2 in 3, you can see this is the value of I1, this is the value of I2 from equation number 1 and 2. Now you can see after putting these values, only the variable remained is Ig. Now students, by taking LCM and simplifying, you will get this equation. Simple mathematics is there. You are in 12th standard, so this is not difficult for you. And then solving, you will get next step. 8 to 1 Ig is equal to 4, and finally Ig is equal to 4 divided by 8 to 1. You will get this much value. Using calculator you can divide it, you will get this value, and Ig, it is a current, so it is in ampere. But students, as this is very small value, if you will replace this decimal from this point to this point, you are shifting 3 places, 3 decimal places is shifted, and so the power will be 10 raised to minus 3. So you can write this as 4.87 and 10 raised to minus 3 ampere, but 10 raised to minus 3 means milli. So you can write the same thing as 4.87 milliampere. I hope you understood this. Now here only Ig is asked to obtain, but if it is asked that obtain the currents in each branch, if you are asked to find the current in this branch, that is AB, in BC, in CD, in AD, in BD, and also the total current, then also you can easily obtain, because as the Ig is obtained, you can find this I1 and I2, and then you can also find these things, also the total current. So as this Ig is obtained, if you will put this value of Ig in equation number 2, then you will get value of I2. If you will put the value of Ig in equation number 1, you will get the value for current I1, and so on. So you can find the currents in each branch also if it is asked. You will get current I1 as this much, I2 as this much. But remember, when you put the value of Ig in equation number 1 and 2, don't put this value, because this is not the SI system. SI system is ampere. So put this value. So I hope you understood this, and I'll advise you to solve the similar types of examples given in the exercise. There is one more example which is similar to this example in the exercise. So I'll advise you to solve that. In that example, all the currents, that is currents in each branch, is asked to obtain. So students, practice more and more, and then you will find this as quite easy. Also, the mathematical steps which I had left on you, if you find that also difficult, then you can definitely ask me.